my scrappy friends, welcome to the Clique channel. It is Hannah with you here today. I'm going to be working on this background. I unfortunately do not have footage from when I did the triangle part of this background, but I did use a like a Tim Holtz dauber thing, and I blended, or like a blending tool, and I blended out on my mat some of the concentrated watercolor that we had in the mixed media color kit. So I used all three colors, and because of the amount of ink that was on my pad as I went, and I used the foam part of the pads, so it was super easy with a little stencil, and then I went back through and then I just used some pen to create the lines around some of those triangles. So now I'm just going to put some regular plain whipped textured paste over top of some of these triangles. These are just like an X type of design. It's nice and simple, and the white, you can see it, but it's not overpowering and it doesn't distract too much. That's really what my goal was to have something fun on that background, but that didn't distract. So now I'm going to be working on putting that background on a mat. A lot of times when I do something like this and there's a ton of media that goes like almost to the edges, I like to add a mat to kind of contain it in. And I used that lighter side. I was thinking I was gonna do the darker side, but then I just really decided that I liked that already mixed media feel that it has, and it has some colors that were on my background, but not too much. So I am going to make sure that I put tape on all four sides so that it sticks really good. I would advise you to make sure before you put it down, if you do something like this, that it's very straight, because I had to pull it up. And some of those ATG tapes are pretty sticky, so you don't really have much room to take it off, but it's all good. It worked out fine, right? And I'm just gonna crumple up, or like push back a little bit of the sides. If I hadn't put the glue so close to the edge, some of the sides would have came up a little bit more. I just like the way that looks. It makes it look more rustic and homemade, which it is. So now I'm going to use the inside part of the paper, because why waste it, and put it on, you know, as like a mat. I like to start off with just a small bit of color or something around my photos, especially when I use a big photo like this. And I tend to use 4x6s just because, or like a 3x4 or something, just because it's a little bit easier sometimes. And there's this frame, and why not use the frame as a layering element? I mean, this is the one nice thing about this kit, and I'm using the main kit. This is the February Moonlight Sonata kit. It is gorgeous with cocoa vanilla. Is that it has a ton of ephemera pieces that are like journaling pieces, but they're big enough that you can use them as layers if you want. Also, I cut up that cut apart sheet paper, and both sides are equally nice, but I decided to use a couple of them just for layering. And that's the one nice thing I like about those. I mean, yes, I could end up making like cards that go in my pocket pages or project life, but it really is fun to use those as layers, because they're not very big, but you can cut them and make them work for you. And then you just get just that hint of color or pattern behind a piece of where you're layering. So I just like to see where it fits, and I like to kind of get different lines that, depending where I put it. So we're going to do some top, we're going to do some bottom. I did staple that Moments on there. I really wanted it to be pretty close to my photo, which is why I added it up at the top. And those little teeny tiny staples are really fun for that kind of thing. So now I'm thinking about what else do I want to put on this page, because I'm kind of at that point. I don't want to overdo it. The background is quite busy. And the one thing that I also love about Cocoa Vanilla in this kit is that there's also ephemera pieces that are just little, so you can tuck in more stuff, like that little heart. It's like a little flag banner piece. It is awesome for project life, but it's really fun for just adding a little bit more detail. So this is paint. So I just took acrylic paint and then I added some airbrush medium, and you basically add airbrush medium just a little bit to the squeeze bottle until you get the consistency that you want to come out of there. So it's a liquid type of paint that you can draw with. And so my first thought was that I was going to actually put that block that has lines on it over top of part of that, so that you get these double lines, because the bottom part of that little block had the watercolor lines in it. But then I ended up deciding not to do it like that, and to just use that for my journaling, because it's perfect for journaling. Now, I say that, and you definitely want to use a pen that you can write on mixed media with, so keep that in mind. I use a felt tip flare pen. It worked decent. I think I would have preferred to use, so I have a Pentel pen that I use for a lot of my mixed media layouts. It's just a basic ballpoint pen, but it's a little bit of a higher grade than your regular like Bic ballpoint pen, but I find that that works really well on mixed media. And so I finished up the title. I'm just about done. This layout is pretty much done. I'm going to put some of these gems on, just putting on those little pieces just to embellish it. Like I said, I didn't want to go crazy because the background is pretty busy. And I don't want to distract from the story. I am going to pick out a piece from here. I was going to pick more than one. I think I used a few of those hearts too, the blue ones, and like the more purpley looking ones. But like I said, I didn't want it to go too crazy, but I did want to add a few things. So I thought about using the label, but then I realized I could just put the date on that journaling piece. So definitely head over to the store and check out all the add-ons and all the lovely stuff that is in the store, and you can check out the info box below and find links to the Facebook page, the blog, and all of that goodness. And I will see you guys later. I hope you guys have a great scrappy week, and I hope you guys are inspired to create something beautiful and document your memories. See you guys later. Bye.